Hello everyone. In today's video, we are going to understand one of the most important components in Zscaler Private Access architecture, Zscaler Private Service Edge. We will discuss what is Private Service Edge, why did Zscaler introduce it, how does it reduce latency, traffic flow with and without PSE, public IP and private IP deployment options, app connector connectivity requirements, failover behavior, and how PSE receives policies and application information from Zscaler Cloud. By the end of this video, you will clearly understand where Private Service Edge fits into the ZPA architecture and when customers should use it. What is Zscaler Private Service Edge? Let's start with the basic definition. A private service edge, also called a private broker, performs the same broker function that normally exists in the Zscaler Cloud. The major difference is normal broker, hosted and managed by Zscaler, runs in Zscaler Cloud. Private Service Edge, hosted inside customer environment, managed by customer, performs broker functionality locally. So technically speaking, Private Service Edge is simply a broker deployed within customer infrastructure. It participates in ZPA architecture exactly like a normal broker, but sits much closer to users and applications. Why did Zscaler introduce Private Service Edge? The primary reason is latency reduction. To understand this, let's look at a real-world example. Example without Private Service Edge. Assume the following setup. User locations, Bangalore. App connector, Bangalore office. Application server, Bangalore office. Public ZPA broker, Hyderabad. As discussed in previous ZPA videos, a connection establishment process looks like this: ZCC to broker to app connector to application. Even though user is in Bangalore, app connector is in Bangalore, application is in Bangalore, the broker is located in Hyderabad. So every time a session is established, traffic coordination must happen through Hyderabad. The path becomes user Bangalore, down to broker Hyderabad, down to app connector Bangalore, down to application Bangalore. Notice something interesting. Only the broker is far away. Everything else is sitting in the same office. What problem does this create? Suppose a user uploads a file to an internal application, or suppose a user opens a dashboard, or generates a report. Although the application server is just a few meters away inside the same office network, session establishment and control operations still involve a broker located hundreds of kilometers away. Now imagine, internet path between Bangalore and Hyderabad becomes congested. ISP introduces delay. Packet loss occurs. Users start experiencing latency, even though the application itself is local. This is exactly the problem that Private Service Edge was designed to solve. Same scenario with Private Service Edge. Now let's deploy a Private Service Edge inside Bangalore office. The environment becomes user, Bangalore. Private Service Edge, Bangalore, app connector, Bangalore, application, Bangalore. Now the path becomes user to Private Service Edge, to app connector, to application. Everything is local. No dependency on a remote broker for session handling, etc. As a result, round-trip time can become extremely low. Example, without PSE, 40 milliseconds, 60 milliseconds, 80 milliseconds. With PSE, 2 milliseconds, 3 milliseconds, 5 milliseconds, depending on customer infrastructure. This significantly improves application responsiveness. Why round-trip time matters? Many administrators think it's only a few milliseconds difference, but some applications are extremely sensitive to latency. Let's understand why. Imagine an application generating a large report. During report generation, the application sends HTTP post, request 1, wait for response, then HTTP post request 2, wait for response, then HTTP post request 3, wait for response, and so on. Some enterprise applications generate thousands of sequential requests. For example, 1,000 requests, 2,000 requests, sometimes even 5,000 requests. The important thing is, these requests are not always parallel. Many applications process them sequentially, meaning request 2 starts only after request 1 finishes, request 3 starts only after request 2 finishes, and so on. Now imagine, latency per request equals 60 milliseconds. 5,000 requests times 60 milliseconds. The delay becomes very noticeable. Now reduce latency to 5 milliseconds. The application suddenly feels much faster. This is one of the biggest reasons customers deploy Private Service Edge. How users connect to Private Service Edge. When configuring a Private Service Edge, administrators can define 1. Private IP address, 2. Public IP address. Both can be configured simultaneously. This allows different types of users to connect. Internal users. Suppose PSE IP. Address 10.1.1.1. Users connected to Office Network can directly reach 10.1.1.1. In this case, ZCC connects to 10.1.1.1, which is the private IP of the PSE. Important requirement for app connectors. Many people overlook this requirement. When a user connects to a specific interface of PSE, app connectors must also connect to the same interface. For example, user connects to 10.1.1.1. Then dispatcher instructs app connector to establish reverse tunnel toward 10.1.1.1. Therefore, user to 10.1.1.1. App connector to 10.1.1.1. Both sides connect to the same Private Service Edge. For this to work, customer must ensure network reachability between app connector and PSE, and this is a mandatory requirement. What happens if app connector cannot reach PSE? Now let's discuss failover. Suppose user successfully connects to PSE, but app connector cannot establish connectivity to PSE. Maybe because firewall issue, routing issue, network outage, or DNS issue. In this scenario, PSE cannot broker the connection. Instead, traffic automatically falls back to public ZPA service. Now the flow becomes ZCC to public broker to app connector to application. In other words, customer does not completely lose connectivity. The session continues through Zscaler Public Cloud. This provides resiliency. Public IP deployment. Now let's discuss remote users. Suppose users are working from home, hotel, airport, or internet cafe. These users cannot access 10.1.1.1 because it is a private IP. Therefore, PSE can also be configured with a public IP address. In this case, ZCC connects to public IP of PSE. App connector also connects to public IP of PSE. But PSE usually sits inside private infrastructure. This creates an obvious question. If PSE is installed inside customer network, how can internet users reach it? The answer is port forwarding. Port forwarding example. Assume PSE internal address 10.1.1.1. Firewall public address 203.x.x.x. Customer configures firewall rules. Public IP forward traffic to 10.1.1.1. Now, when users connect to 203.x.x.x, firewall forwards traffic internally to 10.1.1.1. This process is called port forwarding or destination NAT. As a result, internet users can access Private Service Edge even though it resides in private infrastructure. The same mechanism is used by app connectors when connecting through public IP. For detailed understanding of port forwarding, you can refer this video in our channel. How external traffic reaches devices inside your network. How does PSE know about applications and policies? At this point, many people ask, In previous videos, we learned that brokers perform tasks such as access policy evaluation, application segment distribution, client forwarding policy delivery. Oh, if PSE is running locally, how does it know all this information? Excellent question. PSE maintains control channel to Zscaler Cloud. Even though PSE processes sessions locally, it still maintains a control connection to Zscaler Cloud. Think of it as public broker and private service edge. This control channel continuously synchronizes application segments, access policies, client forwarding policies, user information, and configuration updates. Whenever an administrator changes configuration in ZPA admin portal, the configuration first reaches Zscaler Cloud. Then Zscaler Cloud pushes those updates to Private Service Edge. PSE stores this information locally and uses it to service users. Let's summarize the complete architecture. Step 1. Administrator creates application segments, access policies, client forwarding policies. Step 2. Zscaler Cloud pushes configuration to PSE. Step 3. User launches application. Step 4. ZCC connects to nearest appropriate PSE. Step 5. PSE evaluates access. Step 6. App connector establishes tunnel toward PSE. Step 7. Traffic flows. User to PSE to app connector to application, all while maintaining very low latency. Final summary. Synchronizes. Private Service Edge is essentially a customer-hosted broker for ZPA. Its primary objective is reducing latency by moving broker functionality closer to users and applications. Key benefits include lower round-trip time, better application performance, improved user experience, reduced dependency on distant brokers, and support for latency-sensitive applications. PSE can be accessed through private IP and public IP and maintains a continuous control channel with Zscaler Cloud to receive application segments, access policies, client forwarding policies, and configuration updates. In the next video, we will discuss how ZPA actually selects a private service edge and how users decide whether to connect to the private IP or public IP of a PSE. Thanks for watching this video. You can reach us through Instagram and Telegram for mock interview scheduling and network interview guidance. See you in the next video. Happy learning.